back from the pole, as I put it in the wall. Second lap of my heat, got a little loose coming out of 3. Got it all beat up and straightened out. The boys tell me that we're ready to run now. That's a damn good thing, 'cause that green flag's waving and I'm on the gas. I put my sweat and blood to these nuts and bolts. Yeah, I turn a wrench. It's the only way I can afford to fill it up again, tear it up again. It's the only way I'm ever gonna learn.
Well, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. Welcome to our first edition of the Inside Line podcast with the Dirt Track Bank folks. Believe it or not, we found Rob. New Year comes, we get Rob back. So I don't know what he's been doing, but good to have Rob back and everybody joining in. Welcome. It's a new year, and Rob, a lot of exciting things in 24.
We've got a lot of things coming up, Scott. We've been kind of busy here, not only Christmas and family stuff, and I'm sure everybody has been, but there's a lot of things to talk about here. We're excited. We've got a lot going on, a lot coming up, and I hope our racers and our supporters are going to enjoy it, that we've been taking our time here to try to do the best we can, and it's going to be fun. We're going to roll out some stuff tonight that we've been working on, and just maybe hint around at a few things. And then I know we'll go into details as we go here in the upcoming weeks as well. A lot of cool things coming up.
Yeah, so it is a lot of exciting things. A lot of work has been going on in the last few weeks, months. Great team of everybody we've assembled. And, you know, we've had a great 2023, and we're only going to add to it here for 2024. Again, this is interactive. Scotty DeYoung, hello. Great to see you joining in with us here from the Announcers Podcast. It's great to have you joining in right away with us, Scotty. So, you know, Rob, Scotty's been one of those guys that jumped on midsummer and announced some races with us when we were over on the east side. So always good to have him on board.
Scotty's awesome. Just talked to him about a month ago about some things, and his schedule's going to tweak around, change a little bit. He is a busy man from the tracks and running his truck and stuff, but we're going to see him in a few of our races, and I can't wait. He's a blast. Yeah. He's a great announcer. He's one of the best announcers. He's awesome.
Dan Taylor's already. I'm ready to hear about all the stuff you two have been working on. Dan, it's been kind of one of those things where we're a little parched. We haven't got any high noons or anything lately. So
Dan's been working on a lot too. Dan's been a busy guy too, keeping track of everybody's stuff going on. So welcome, Dan.
Look who's already joining in on this deal. Trent Chen wants a sign.
Can I have one of the Light Up Dirt Crown signs for hosting the most Dirt Crown shows? Trent, we might be able to work with you. I don't know. You got to win a race though, Trent. Can you win a race?
Oh no, best part is both these trophies have to get taken down and moved on to new people. So we'll give these away at the banquet, I think, before it's all over. Murray County Speedway, that's someplace new that we're going to head this year. Hello, Dustin. Thanks for joining us here this evening. Dan says he drank our fair share. Well, we got to change that in 24.
We know that Dan drinks a lot. That's right. So
yeah, at least we know Dan drinks a lot.
Yeah, so, nothing's going to change in 24 with Dan Taylor.
A lot of good stuff happening, and like we said, as this is an interactive show here, so keep the messages coming. We love it. Again, we can't thank the folks at Dirt Track Bank, Jay Burdick, Malvern Bank, all their great support they've given us here. And Dan Taylor, the QuickTime podcast question of the week, we'll have to get back to that with Taylor Computers. We were just lucky to get a podcast put together here with everything going on, and I really feel that we have a lot of exciting things. Rob, I know we're getting through the holidays here. Everything's going good on your side of the family, right?
Yeah, we had a blast. Santa came and treated us well, and everybody's being pretty healthy as we go back to school tomorrow, and lots of ball games. So exciting time in my house. How about yours?
Yeah, same thing. You know, kids go back to school tomorrow. I can say that I'm actually going to go to Florida again this year, but not miss any races, so that's good. Got some fun and adventurous stuff going on for the kids here. Basketball, baseball coming up here. Got done with volleyball. Still got dance going on, so all kinds of things. Like we said, we always want to keep our families number one, and that's what we want for our racers too.
Yeah, really important to us. Our racers, our promoters, everybody's got to have priorities, and our priorities are just making sure everybody's happy and healthy, and we just give them a little bit of extra racing too, right?
That's all we want. Yeah, we want to have fun and enjoy the sport that we all love. So where should we start here, Rob? Should we talk about our Stock Car Crown Summer Series for next year?
Well, this is who we are. This is what we've been doing the last couple of years, and man, it took a little longer than we usually. I don't know. Actually, we released our schedule in January before, so actually we might be earlier. But I thought we were going to be November timeframe. But when you're dealing with awesome people and you're dealing with so many races and so many schedules, things just take a while. But I couldn't be more excited about this year's schedule for the East and the West this year.
Yeah, it's something that a lot of help, a lot of thought has gone into. A lot of great folks again on board with us for the 24 season. Can you catch, Rob? What are you trying to catch?
Oh, I got little Cora here. She wanted to come out and say hi before she goes to bed. So
that's what it's all about right there. Hi, Cora.
Hi.
How are you? Say hello to everybody watching us here tonight. And who knows where.
You're the last kid that I have that's shy. She's pretty open. So Cora's going to be coming with us this year. She wants to have fun this year. And same with your kids, Scott. That's what it's all about. So
it is. And, the more fun we can have as family and travel together, the easier it is for everybody to do this. So Let's talk a little bit about this schedule here. We'll pull it up here. Ryan, we still haven't found Ryan. So we don't have anybody that's smart enough to run a computer. So
we are live though, aren't we? At least, Scott. Remember that last year?
Yeah, we're at least live. I think everybody's at least what do they call it? Messaging in.
Yeah.
I don't know how you say it nowadays. Do they say tweeting in? I mean, I don't know how that works.
I don't know.
They can't say Xing in because that doesn't sound right, does it?
There we go.
There's our schedule. We'll talk about it a little bit here. 2024 schedule. Again, East and West divisions. We can't thank the great folks at Mel Hambleton Racing on board for 2024 in some way. Their great support in 23 is greatly appreciated and excited for what the future holds with those guys down there. So we have East and West divisions. First things first, Rob, the big old Spring Nationals in Beatrice. Beatrice, Nebraska is always a great place to kick off the season. And what we got right here, we have an East and a West show. Going to try something a little bit different, maybe some dual races a little bit here this year.
Yeah, if this works out, we're going to try a couple dual races to start the year out. We'll see how it goes. We're going to get some input. I think we've just visited about that. When we get to our banquet, we're going to take some input from our drivers from both sides. But if this works out, we'd like to make these first couple races dual races. And the Spring Nationals being in March there early like that, I mean, if the weather holds out, that's an unbelievable race and a weekend. The fair board's great. Tommy taking over. Toby's helped with that race before too. So that's always a big one, especially if the weather cooperates. So I'm glad we're part of that one.
Yeah, so March 16th, Spring Nationals, Beatrice Speedway. Usually a really good show. Bring these guys out from all over as they have the itch to race. We do have to mention, there's a lot of guys racing down south. So good luck to all the IMCA guys racing down in Arizona this week. I've seen earlier they were having some weather delays. So don't like to see that, though. We don't wish it on anybody after what we've been through with weather. But we move on from Beatrice and we go to the off-road speedway for the Dirt Crown Duel. Again, an East-West show.
Yeah, and Jerry treats us pretty good up there, and we've talked about how that format's going to go. He's excited. He'd like to get some East racers and mix them in with an awesome group here from the West. And Dirt Crown Duel, we're going to be releasing something else about some sport mods here in a little bit. Talk about something here in a little bit. So both stock cars and sport mods that night, East-West Duel at Norfolk. So
yeah. So then the next race we see over here, we stay on the east side, working with Mike Van Generen. Mike has been nothing but supportive with us again. We can't thank Mike and everybody at the Stewart International Speedway enough for everything they do. April 17th, we'll head over to the Stewart International Speedway for an East show.
Yeah, that track, those sport mods get around there pretty good. And I think we're going to see a few different drivers there too, because some of the guys from the East can make it to Stewart a little better. So that'll be good. Mike has been great with us, and we'll see that on the sport mod deal as well. So also that will be a sport mod and stock car night at the same time.
So Stewart International, April 17th, April 29th, staying in April. On the east side, Dirt Crown Shootout, the Clay County Speedway, Trent Chin, Spencer, Iowa, that whole group over there. We went over there several times last year in 23, and nothing but great racing and good cars and great fans, and just the whole atmosphere of that place is top notch.
Yep. We'll talk about Trent and his track, and maybe a little bitty race that he just announced. We'll talk about that later here, but he treats us well over there at his racetrack. So we need to get as many cars to that race as we can. I think that could be one of the best races right there on the 29th.
Yeah, it's a cool atmosphere. You go off turn 1 too far, you end up in Casey's, so it's kind of a cool layout right there on the edge of town. In Spencer, Iowa, great racing top to bottom over there. Then we jump back to the west side in May, and the Dawson County Raceway. We'll talk about that place a little bit more in depth in a few minutes here. But the Governor's Cup, May 5th at Dawson County Raceway in Lexington.
We've been out there a couple years in a row, and it's going to be exciting. Dawson County's under some different leadership, I guess, but a lot of great people are going to kick in this year to make that track go, and we're excited to be a part of that. And it'll be cool to kind of start the year off out there with stock car race as well. That'll be a really big one, and we're going to brand that with our Governor's Cup. So we're going to have a new governor, and we'll see if they are Western Nebraska racers or if they come from the East. Or northern Kansas. There's a lot of northern Kansas guys that aren't that far away from Lex too. So that'll be fun too.
Yeah, and it's a great contingent of cars out there. That's one of the places where you can go on any Sunday night and see 15, 20 top-notch stock cars. So to add that as part of the Governor's Cup, we may see a Western Nebraska governor here in 2024.
I think
so May 5th.
Well. Yeah.
May 5th, that's a Sunday night. We'll go there. May 19th, we go to the Interstate Speedway. Chase and Shelby Alves, those folks have been nothing but great to us again. We talk about those folks there. Dirt Crown Throwdown at Interstate Speedway. The little bull ring again right there on May 19th will be a great show for the stock cars.
I think that might have been one of the most anticipated races last year. It got rained out. I think it started raining the day before. Chase and Shelby wanted that race just as much or more than we did, Scott. That was going to be a big one. So they immediately wanted to get it back on the schedule, and we're happy they did. So that'll be a big night. I believe Sport Mods are there going to be there along with their other classes that night as well. So pretty good.
You're just all excited about Sport Mods for some reason.
Well, I just want to make. I don't know. Got a lot going on.
So. We'll talk about Sport Mods here in a little bit. So Dirt Crown Throwdown at Interstate Speedway, May 19th. June 5th, staying on the east side, we go back to the Buena Vista Raceway and have the Battle of the Beaver. Alta, Iowa, June 5th. That's always a really racy little track. We've seen a couple guys go over there from the west side, and they ran pretty good last year, so hopefully we can get a couple of those guys to come back over there and try out the Buena Vista Raceway. Again, Trent Chin and all of his great supporters over there. It's always cool. That was one of the places we ran into Scotty DeYoung, and the support over there is just it's amazing. So it's a lot of fun to go over into Iowa and see how the stock car deal goes.
I think if we could get Trent to help us get some footage of that race, I'm not saying it was a top 5, but it'd be a pretty close to a top 5 finish last year in the drama that was in that race. So that's going to provide excellent racing. Thank you, Trent Chin, again for letting us be at that race with you.
So Battle of the Beaver on a Wednesday night, and then we go down just a little trip from Alta, Iowa. We'll head back to the west side and go to Waukene, Kansas, a new track on the Speedway with us this year. Great folks down there. Dirt Crown Showdown, night number 1. So putting together two-night swing way out in western Kansas is exciting, and we know it's going to be one of the best racetracks we get to race at all year, hands down, with the the track prep that goes out there, all the support that we've already seen from out that way. New area for sure, but really excited to go Dirt Crown Showdown at Waukene Speedway.
And let's just move right along to Thomas County, which is in Colby the next night. So a Thursday, Friday, and pretty cool deal to work with BJ at Waukene and to work with Jason at Thomas County at Colby there. Good guys, and they kind of leveraged kind of the proximity they are to each other, and with our schedule and being new, being down there together, they're working together. Usually Waukene's on a Friday night, and so is Colby, but BJ moved to Thursday so that we could provide as many opportunities to get as many great stock cars to that area as possible those 2 nights. They're going to pay really well. They're going to have really big nights. I bet you their whole communities, their whole counties will be out for those races. So if you want to come be a race that night in front of a huge crowd, grandstand packed, both of those nights I think are going to be huge. I think it's going to be fun. There's a lot of great stock car racers from Kansas, central Kansas, western Kansas, and I could see them being there and protecting their home turf just as much as anybody.
We get that far west in Kansas, and it's not really a stretch to say you may see some of the eastern Colorado guys coming over into Nebraska or into Kansas and racing with us as well. So it's a little bit of a haul for some of our guys from eastern Nebraska, but it's going to be one of those shows that is definitely going to be worth watching.
Right. Yep. 2 for 1 on that one.
So from Colby, Kansas, we take almost a whole month of our points schedule off, and we go back to a staple. It's true and true out. Tanner Pelster Memorial, one of the biggest races in stock cars that we see in the Midwest, the Boone County Raceway. Delmer and his whole family, the Pelster family, putting on a great race in memory of Tanner, a great racer that we lost way too early to kick off their fair week. And it's nothing but great there. Tanner Pelster Memorial at Boone County Raceway in Albion.
I think we've said a lot about it. There's probably not a lot more to say, but we could go on and on about it. And what Delmer and his family and his team do there in that race. Did they have 72 stock cars at that race last year, if I'm right?
Yeah, 72 stock cars, yes.
And every one of them was taken care of and appreciated in a big way. And it was a very dramatic and a very competitive night for everybody just to get out of your heat races. But that's why everybody was there, because they worked their butts off for a great kid that we lost too young. But Delmer takes care of you. No matter how you do out there, you get taken care of. So we're happy to be a part of that again, for sure.
Yes, definitely. Going back to Boone County Raceway, July 7th. And then we go to kind of a new swing for us. We'll go to the road to the Silver Dollar Nationals starting on a Monday, July 15th, Dirt Crown Hub City at Murray County Speedway in Slayton, Minnesota. That's going to be a great show there.
So Aaron got a hold of me from up there. Aaron didn't get a hold of me. I got a hold of Aaron after talking to Doug at Worthington, and we thought if we're going to put together something, let's give guys the best chances they can to go on a run, hit some different racetracks, see some great competition because there's some great stock car drivers up there. And leading up to our trip to Huset's on the 17th, how could we put a couple more races together? Those guys were great. Those tracks were great to work with, to move from their normal nights to run a Monday and a Tuesday just to get ready for our Huset's trip. So thank you to both of them, to their tracks and their crews and all their sponsors, because they're going to put together 2 really, really good purses before we even get to Huset's. So if you want to be a part of something cool, see some neat tracks, that's a run that I don't care if you're in the East or even way over on the West, that's probably somewhere you want to be to get some good stock car racing in.
Yeah, Slayton on Monday, and then we go to Worthington on Tuesday. The Jim Larson Memorial, what a family the Larson family is. We've seen both the boys race with us here, Dustin and Jeffrey. Great guys, no matter where they're at on the racetrack, and fierce competitors. So definitely some hard charging stock cars we'll see there July 16th on a Tuesday night as we head up to Silver Dollar Nationals at Huset Speedway in Brandon on Wednesday. So should be really good there. July 17th, and then we go. Let's see here. Go back August 4th, back to the east side. I'm sorry, the west side. Now I'm confused. East and west, left and right, up and down. At least we're live, right, Rob?
Right. Yep.
Remington Elton Memorial, another stock car race that, a memorial race, great racing over there. We've had some great races over there, some really special wins with Jed, 2 years ago. Remington Elton Memorial, Thayer County Speedway in Deschler. Great race again last year. Before we go to the Rooks County Fair, Rooks County Speedway in Stockton, Kansas. That's a place where, unfortunately, Mother Nature won last year.
It's too bad. We just got the cars out there for hot laps, and they have a huge grandstand, and I don't think there was a place to set in that. And we all weathered the rain for a while, hoping we could get it in. Dean and his wonderful people down there, we made a deal right when that kind of wrapped up and everybody was taking off that we were coming back. So glad to be a part of that again with Rooks County. And I believe we'll have a lot of guys head from the Deschler race and then meet up with some more cars down there at Stockton. It'll be cool.
August 18th Championship Challenge. We'll go back to the quarter mile, the Belleville High Banks. That'll be a great night in Belleville, moving it off of the 4th of July weekend, and we'll talk about why that move here. But Championship Challenge at that Belleville High Banks on the quarter mile track, August 18th, to round out the West Series.
Scott, every track on here is super important, and every track has got its pros and maybe a couple cons, but you got to admit we heard a lot of great things about that race in Belleville on the quarter mile from our guys, and a lot of guys that didn't come wish they would have been there after watching it. I think Mike Nichols got a really hard-fought win over Tyler Fry on that race, but it was exciting, 50 laps, but we thought what a great way, and it just worked in our schedule this year. We're going to move that to the end of the year and have that be our West Championship. That's going to be a cool place to decide a championship for sure. It's on a Sunday. Hopefully not too many people are racing that night, and we could get a lot of them down.
Yeah, so that'll be a good thing there, August 18th. We'll wrap up the east side at Clay County Speedway again. September 10th will be their championship night. Spencer, Iowa, again, Clay County Speedway, Trent Chin. We talked about his group earlier. So we got these two outlying little racetracks or two races over here. We changed the name, Belleville High Banks, on July 3rd. It won't be the Firecracker 50, but it's going to be some stock cars and Drew and his whole crew down there. We're going to make it a non-points night. And why are we going to make it a non-points night, Rob?
Well, it's because we have to. We thought it was pretty cool what the guys at Belleville have tried. It's been a while since they've tried it, but we wanted to be a part of it and at least put it on our schedule. We're going to be the stock cars are going to be on the half mile down in Belleville. And there's not many opportunities for stock cars to ever be on that racetrack, let alone many cars in IMCA type of rule packages. So that's going to be a huge night. The night before the 4th, we're going to have stock cars on the half mile. They're also having 360 sprint cars on the half mile that night. And I think they're running cruisers or somebody on the small track. But big night for sure. And I'm glad it's on our schedule. I know it's a non-points night, but we wanted everybody to at least know about it just because you do not get many opportunities to ever have a chance. Scott and I do not have we do have the purses for most of these and the to win and to start money. And we're going to release that here in the next week or two, I'm guessing, or towards our banquet. But I'm going to promise you, you do not want to miss what that race is going to pay to win and to start. It'll be the most money that guys usually ever get to start a stock car race. So you got to circle that one.
And a one-night purse for sure. Only
Just
one night. One of the things we talked about is, running maybe some 6-lap heat races, 15-lap features. We understand the stress that racetrack is. We understand how fast that racetrack is. Drew and his guys down there understand, what that monster is, but really want to see what the stock cars can do on there and put on a good show. So we'll see really good pay, really good start money. Hopefully we can get some really good support on that deal and everybody can enjoy the 3rd of July. And we've seen it this year with the Firecracker 50. Great fireworks afterwards. Like if you just want to come to a racetrack and watch fireworks, Belleville's usually a place to go.
Yep. It'll be a great night. I'm sure it'll be a packed house again. So can't wait to be back on July 3rd.
Yeah, and then rounding out the season, September 20th, the Knoxville Invitational. We can get more into that one. Knoxville Raceway, again, another non-points night, getting the stock cars back on the big famed Knoxville Raceway.
Yes. Same thing. How many opportunities do we get? It's been a few years since you've seen stock cars on that racetrack. A lot of guys have asked how they get to be a part of that. We read a lot of comments on Facebook. It'll be something we're going to release soon. You're going to have to be a member of Dirt Crown. You're going to have to run with us, and we'll determine kind of some qualifying marks it's going to take to get in that race. But you want to be a part of it. It's going to pay well, and you get the opportunity to be at Knoxville.
Yeah, so something really cool there. Sorry I wasn't able to multitask here. We don't have Ryan, so nobody's watching the comments. Joaquini, thanks for answering that question, Dean. Ernie Reese, what size is Joaquini? Dean Kester. Dean, thanks for all your help jumping on here. 3/8 mile down there at the Joaquini Speedway. Murray County and Worthington, we mentioned Scotty DeYoung. Jason McIntyre, also working on some contingencies for June 7th. So that's cool. And it looks like Cora is now inside messaging you, Rob. Says, hi, Dad. This is Cora. So I guess going to bed was out of the question.
Yeah, she'll probably wait till I come. That's funny. Yeah, that's funny.
Tom Hagedorn looks like he's maybe watching with us. So, Tom, good to have you and all your support. We love seeing you over on the east side. Tom Hagedorn, a guy that he's gonna walk home with some money come our banquet time.
Let's talk about that real fast, and let's talk about it. Let's not make that a surprise. Tom already knows it. What is Tom going to walk home with?
So Tom is runner-up in our B Feature Kings. Tom will get $500 plus his points fund money, and Tom was a great supporter. Tom took the plunge and bought a membership one of the very first nights, and I think he walked out with 2 or 3 tires out of the deal. The B Feature King deal is super cool. Let's see here while we're talking about some of this B Feature stuff. A guy that I know has seen this already. He's not going to make the banquet because, damn him, he's going racing already. Mr. Tim Gonska. Seen he was already down in Arizona with his new stock car. So a guy we're excited to have back here for 2024. He'll race with us as much as he can. Let's see if we can find what we're going to give Tom, and we'll show everybody the at least rough draft of what Tom will be getting here. Let's see if we can get this to pull up here. So, yeah. Tom Hagedorn, second place in B Feature Kings. Thank you, Brandon Johnson, Big Johnson Race Cars, for all your support you've done throughout, the whole Dirt Crown series, whether it be from the very beginning or to as of recent here with the Stock Car Crown Summer Series. Brandon Johnson, Big Johnson Race Cars, great supporter. Got behind this B Feature Kings idea right away. Brandon putting up some extra money for us. So,
and Scott, we'll go over that many times, but we want to let everybody know that we like to have competitions within the competition. So our B Feature Kings. Yep, you got that, Scott?
It's pulling up here, hopefully. So
look at that guy.
There it is. So the B Feature King, Rick Johnson, a local guy here in Nebraska, drawn some character cars for us here. This is just one of them that he's drawn for us, and we're using them on some trophies this year. So a little bit different things. This is Tim Gonska's. So thank you, Rick. Thank you, Tim. Thank you, Tom, for all your support throughout the season here. So great to have great folks on here, and we're gonna recognize a lot of these guys here. So we did mention the banquet here real briefly. Let's pull this up here. It's January 19th. Rob has graciously been taking everybody's RSVPs and forgetting who has told them is coming. So if you're coming to the banquet, Maybe let Rob know again that you plan on coming, because I think you forgot who texted him already.
I get just a couple texts a day, so I need to start just sending them to you right away, so you can write them down, Scott. No, thank you everybody that is RSVP, and the banquet's a lot of fun. We had a lot of fun last year. Just ask Kyle Vanover and Austin Bronner and Jeff Ware and many others. We had a blast. So can't wait to see everybody. We're going to give a lot of cool stuff away from awesome sponsors. We're going to be writing some big checks. We got some cool trophies. So I don't know.
Yeah.
You have and everybody's invited. That's the cool thing about the banquet.
And it's only $20. You get a meal, and with our stock car guys, you're going to have some really good entertainment as the night goes, whether it be from Rob or from Kyle, Damon Murdy, Dustin Viss. We're going to have some characters on board with us this year, and it's going to be a lot of fun. Anthony Ainsley's, you said he RSVP'd you yesterday. So
yeah.
That's good to see, and you didn't forget Anthony. How can we forget Anthony for all the great work he's done with us? Now Alex is mad. Uh-oh. We got problems. Alex wants to know where Ryan's at. So, Alex, thanks for all your help.
Alex is our main cameraman and producer, helps Ryan on that part of it too. Dirt Crown TV has really taken off this summer, and Alex is a huge reason why. So we're pretty lucky for guys like that.
So one of the things, I don't know, you're not a social media person much, Rob. You try to hide in the background, but Alex was sharing with me last night some of the videos he's working on for us for the banquet, and all I can say is wow. Super proud of what Alex is coming up with, and excited to see what the final product looks like. A lot of work that he's done, not only behind the camera, but sitting behind the desk, working on all of our video stuff for us, and excited to see that stuff at the banquet.
One thing, Scott, that TV deal just started this year, and we're a couple years in. We're not perfect at everything we do, but we're getting better, and things are blowing up for us more and more, and it's just pretty cool. Everybody just stick together with us here. I think the future is going to be bright, and we're all going to be really happy with what we see down the road if we just all keep sticking together and working together.
Yeah, I mean, we all have said this from the get-go, Rob, that you surround yourself with good folks and good things happen, and so far I feel that's what our team is really striving for, whether it be our stock car series, whether it be the swap meet, the chassis school now we're going to do. We'll talk about that here in a little bit. Which one do we want to go to next, Rob? Do we want to? Let's take on something a little different here. Lighting Motorsports has jumped on as our title sponsor, Sport Mod Summer Series. 16 nights of racing, and I think that maybe has changed now. Minimum of $1,000 to win per show for the Sport Mods.
Yeah, pretty big deal, isn't it? We're pretty lucky. We're pretty fortunate. Jeremy Lighting has helped us out, but really it's a lot of tracks just stepping up and saying, hey, the stock car's got a pretty cool deal going. We had thought about some mod series stuff, but they're being taken care of in a couple areas too. Trent and his series with Mike in Iowa is going to be pretty good in Northern Iowa. We sure didn't want to step on anybody's toes there. I know a couple local tracks are kind of stepping up and throwing some more dollars around to help get their mod counts back up. But obviously the sport mods are so awesome, and it's cool. The tracks wanted to do something for them, and for them to put trust in us to kind of put it in something under our umbrella. It's going to be a lot of fun to hand out these same Dirt Crown trophies to sport mod drivers, so.
Whoa, wait. When did you order those? We're going to do more trophies like that?
What, wouldn't we? Don't we give that to all of our winners? I think we should.
I guess we probably can.
I think they'd like a couple of these on their wall too. Trent Chin wants one. We should. If Trent Chin might get one, we got to make sure that we can give our sport mod drivers winners some too, right?
Yeah, I suppose. So let's talk about it then. The Lighting Motorsports Sport Mod Summer Series. First ever race will be at the Off-Road Speedway in Norfolk, Nebraska, April 13th.
Yeah, pretty cool to be with Jerry up there. Same night as our stock car duel that's going to be up there. But Jerry doesn't usually run sport mods, but there's a lot of them around from Sioux City, Northwest Iowa, Eastern Iowa, and obviously all around Nebraska. So that'll be a North Division race, but I expect everybody to have a good time. If you want to come up on a Saturday in mid-April, that'll be a good show.
So let's talk about that a little bit, Rob. North Division versus South Division, East versus West in the stock cars. Sport mods are going to be split North and South. A guy who's helped us a ton with this, I hope he's still with us, is Trent Chin. So let's not be shy about that, Trent. Thanks for all your help on this. And we're going to have a North Division and a South Division.
It's just how the map laid out. We're not trying to get tricky with names. It is what it is. It's close to the East and West with the stock cars in a way. Some of these tracks are going to race both on the same night. Some are going to be their own separate show. But if you just really put a pin where each one of these tracks are at, it kind of felt like a North and a South Division. And we want the sport mods to have their own feel to them as well. So that's why that's going to be that way. We're going to put a few more working on some sponsors, put some more sponsor names. So if anybody wants to jump in and put their name on a few things, we'll sure take the help. But sport mods are a great class. We want to make sure we take care of them as well.
So April 13th and then April 17th, we go to Stewart. Again, Mike Van Genderen jumping on board there. Can't thank Mike and his crew enough. And then we jump back and we're going to get the South Division started May 5th. So May 5th is a big night, Dawson County Raceway, the first night of the season out there. Both the Stock Car Crown Summer Series and the Lighting Motorsports Sport Mod Series will get kicked off out there. $1,000 to win for the Sport Mods there. Then we go May 15th, Boone County Raceway.
May 7th. May 17th. May 17th. You just got a misspell on that one. Friday.
Shoot.
Friday, May 17th. There's no one. Let's see. Beatrice is not racing that night on Friday nights. And if I check my schedule right from my promoters that I know in Kansas, Colby, Jason, you're not running. And as well, BJ, you're not running at Waukene. I could be wrong, but I think there's no other Friday racing in this part of the world. So that could be a big night. But yeah, I believe it's the 17th.
Well, that would make sense. Then Interstate is that Saturday or Sunday, the 19th.
Yep, May 7th.
So May 17th, May 19th, Interstate Speedway in Jefferson, South Dakota. Again, Shelby and Chase Owls up there, great folks. June 6th, we stay up in that area for Park Jefferson. Go to the big track, Wayne and his group over there, before we go back to a South Division race at a new racetrack for us. East, West, North, South. How about Concordia Raceway?
And I agree. Let's just jump real quick back to Park Jeff. We got to thank Wayne a bunch. Wayne worked hard to get us. This will be his inaugural, if I'm right here, the Bill Kirk Memorial. If it's not, Wayne's going to move that back until the end of the season. But thank you, Wayne, for letting us be on with you. I know also last year the rain and everything, it didn't work out to be up there. But Concordia, they have a nice memorial race. Wonderful family. And we're excited to be with them. They're an up-and-coming track. They're trying hard. I know they're working hard to put on some good races. So we're going to help them put together their biggest race that they've had. And I'm excited about that. I think we can help them out. And there's a lot of really good sport mod drivers in north central Kansas that will be at Concordia. And they already threw out how much they're going to pay. And I think you got it there. It's over $2,000 to win the show.
Yeah.
So
pretty cool deal there.
Yeah, go ahead.
If I'm mistaken, a gentleman that we know from Beatrice, Steve Swerthout, was the track champion down there last year. Steve eats, sleeps, and breathes the racing, and great supporter of the racetracks. And he went down to the Concordia Raceway every week last year and was the track champion, I believe, down there at Concordia. So Steve Swerthout wanted to be a contender that night for sure in Concordia, Kansas. June 19th, a little race going on at Beatrice Speedway, I think, that night, Rob.
Yeah, something different for them, and I'm excited for them. The USMTS mods are going to be coming through. I think they're running it. Help me out. They're running Norfolk on a Tuesday, Beatrice on a Wednesday, and Wichita on a Thursday. and we're going to hang out with them with our sport mods on Wednesday as a sport class. But I bet you we have a lot of cars there, So Beatrice has a great sport mod classes, just as good or as better than anybody. Tommy does a great job with his sport mods. Really good drivers down there. So that'll be fun on a Wednesday night to be at Beatrice Speedway.
On a Wednesday night, I think they averaged, 20, 25, maybe even 30 cars last year in the sport mod class. So definitely looks to be a big night there. Anybody who likes open wheel modifieds will be there anyways. A great swing coming through Nebraska there. Then we go to Junction Motor Speedway. Junction Motor Speedway under new management. Randy Wolf and his team there jumping on board with some sport mods at McCool Junction.
Thank you, Randy, for being a part of this in your first year. You've got a lot of good plans, big plans, and we're excited to be a part of this with you in your first year. That'll be a nice Saturday night there. Randy's got some expectations. He might even be working on that purse for these sport mod guys. So that number might even change as we go.
And that's okay. Like we put on here and it says on our header here, a minimum of 1,000 to win per show. Sport mod guys, we've seen some great racing and people can knock on you all they want, but the sport mod class is a great class. A lot of good competitors there, and we should see hopefully a lot of you guys on the road with us here and giving you something to go race for.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
So we've seen July 22nd Junction Motor Speedway. Then we move on July 1st, the Independence Motor Speedway. Again, another new racetrack for us. Same great face behind it, though, Mike Van Genderen. Thank you, Mike, for all your support bringing on the sport mods here at Independence. So getting us a little bit further east in Iowa with that race.
Sure. What's cool about that, being east, I think we're going to see a few extra cars there. I know you just threw these on air. We got to switch the Indy and the Boone County on the north and south schedule, Scott, when we throw those out for good here. So actually Indy will be over there with the Iowa and the northern Iowa and Sioux tracks, and Boone County will be a south race. So
okay,
no big deal. But thank you, Mike. When you talk to a lot of drivers and you talk to a lot of people, and you're not real familiar, they start telling you their opinions on things. And I'll tell you, I've heard a lot of great things about every single one of these tracks, but I'm going to tell you, everybody says the race service at Independence is the best. They love to go race at Indy. So that's a compliment to Mike and his crew. Obviously, Mike knows dirt. I think that's what's his nickname?
The Dirt Doctor.
So anyways, it'll be fun to be over there on a Monday night, July 1st.
So then July 8th, we can go back to one of Trent's tracks, Trent Chin at the Clay County Speedway, Spencer, Iowa, again, July 8th. So the month of July here, getting pretty busy. And then we go to Slayton, Murray County Speedway. Again, road to the Silver Dollar, all the stock cars up there. Worthington on the 16th. So Clay County the 8th. You're going to get some good cars there. We look for some good cars at Murray and at Worthington. Some of the best sport mods in those three tracks there. I guess maybe we call out Matthew Loof and see if he can come take home a trophy or two. We'll mention Clay County here in a bit, but I think Trent's got something up his sleeve for the purse on July 8th, and we'll make sure we hold him to it, even with this new news today. But sport mods are definitely going to want to be at all those tracks. They're all going to pay well. So to be determined or to be announced on Clay County could be a really cool deal here coming up too. Yeah, Worthington 2,000. I mean, that's a pretty good chunk of change there. So 3,000 in 2 days to win there, 15th and the 16th between Slayton and Worthington. You mentioned what Trent's got up his sleeve. You never know with that cat there. What he's got. We round out the month of July. We go to Osborne, Kansas, in another Western Kansas racetrack there. Should be a great show there.
North Central, not necessarily too Western, but a little bit. But great guys out there. Don and Wes on the fair board there. They're going to do a good job. I've never personally been to Osborne. I've heard some pretty cool stories about it. So everybody needs to strap up for that one, and they're going to take care of you. I'm sure they're working on the purse as well. That was just an initial number that came through, but that's part of their fair. And just like Stockton, when you go to a county fair night in northern Kansas, you're going to see a crowd just as good or better than you've ever seen. And they're all there to watch you. That's how important the racers are.
And that's what was crazy. We go back to the Stockton race that we didn't get to have. I especially got to spend a little bit of time in the grandstands trying to get the rain to pass and, talking to some of the fans and talking with Anthony was down there as our announcer that night. Some of the racers that were in the grandstands, if you would have had a grandstands race night, guys that used to race, it's crazy to see some of them at the racetrack again, and maybe they're getting the itch. So maybe we can convince some of these guys with some of these other schedules to come out of retirement and come racing with us.
I think that'd be pretty cool. They got a lot of fans down there. They're big supporters of all these tracks too. So it was good to see those guys. And maybe we could have a Legends race down there sometime.
A Legends race. We'll talk about that in a little bit here.
Oh, okay.
August 4th, Dare County Speedway. Again, the Remington L Team Memorial. Sport Mods will be part of that show. Always a great show there. I believe that's the right night, right, Rob? August 4th?
Yeah, August 4th, Sunday, August 4th.
Okay. Then August 17th, a new to us racetrack, Beloit, the Mitchell County Fair Raceway. A cool little racetrack. We've seen some really good stock car racing there last summer. We'll bring some Sport Mods there this year to see what we can do the night before we go back to Belleville.
Just like a couple of these other county fair tracks, especially in northern Kansas, they don't race much, but when they race, they have a packed crowd. They race most all the classes. So, for instance, that night, I know they're gonna be racing stock cars as well, and hobbies, and probably mods, as far as I know. And so come out, make sure, if you can't, make sure you're watching on TV. That one will be fun. That's a bull ring. That's a good USAC track. The midgets come by there in the summer every year during their fair. So that track is going to be fun to see what Sport Mods can do on it as well.
Yeah, and we've seen great racing last year with the Sport Mods at the small track at Belleville. So we know the Sport Mods can put on a great show on the small tracks, the little bull rings. So kind of give them a flavor of everything from small to big. Challenge the Sport Mod guys a little bit, but we'll get a good group of guys put together, and we know we'll have good racing throughout this series as well. Championship night, the next night, August 18th in Belleville on the quarter-mile track. We talked about that earlier with the stock cars. So we'll crown a champion for the Lighting Motorsports inaugural Sport Mod Summer Series, August 18th at the quarter-mile in Belleville.
Let's just say that was our best Sport Mod race that we had on TV last year. Tyler Fry and Lee Horkey went down to the wire. Did Lee get him by an inch? I don't know.
Yeah, Lee got him. That's one of the things. Transponders don't lie, unfortunately. Tyler put on a hell of a show in both cars. That's the guy near and dear to Belleville, and we want Tyler to pick up one of the trophies. Love to see him do it any place, but Belleville would be so special to Tyler. We know that.
Well, that'll be a pretty cool night in Belleville because it will be a Sport Mod and stock car night on the quarter mile. And just to add, since they don't do it very often, just like we were talking about the half mile earlier with the stock cars on July 3rd, Belleville is going to let modifieds race on the half mile on that night, August 18th. So if you've got a mod and you want to try that half mile, you don't get many chances. August 18th, you'll get your chance. Thought I'd throw that in.
Excuse me there with a little cough. Little birdie tells me, and maybe the phone's rang a few times here, we may get to see some guy that used to be pretty good go around Belleville again. So somebody that hasn't been in a car too much as of late with other duties involving in racing, we may see one of the guys that used to be real good on the big track. We may get to see him in a stock car there, both on the big track and the small track. So kind of some exciting news. We won't spill the beans here yet but definitely some of the folks, like we mentioned, used to go really good at Belleville. He's got a stock car. I've seen it in the shop. It's even his colors already. There's a couple other big races that he's looking at running with it. So no time at all. He'll have some races under his belt, and I think he'll remember how to get around Belleville, both the big track, and then he can get around the small track, I'm sure.
Well, and I know we won't share the name yet, but just like in a lot of places we go to, there's a lot of really great stock car racers. There's a lot of really good drivers that were in other classes that are coming up. There's a lot of guys that have been in stocks working hard and getting better. And then once in a while you pull somebody off the shelf that hasn't been racing for a while, but yet can do it in a heartbeat. I mean, that's what makes that class probably the best on the stock cars. You know, I know we're talking sport mods here, but that's what's pretty cool. The guys can come out and race different classes like that and be super competitive.
Yeah, you're exactly right there. And the stock cars are, you know, what we're talking about here for a second. And I think the sport mods, we can see that coming. And we know that the stock car class, what IMCA has done to put a great rules package together there, it's going to be a great class. Sport mods, a real competitive class about every place you go. Good groups of cars in about every little racetrack that has them. So we get a couple of those guys stay in our mix here, and it could be some really good sport mod racing as well. Back to Clay County, September 11th, championship night. I think that's part of the fair there again. Is that right, Rob?
Yeah, the Super Iowa, biggest fair in the world, whatever Trent and Iowa Spencer calls it. But that's a pretty awesome place. If you've never been to Spencer, that fairgrounds is a pretty cool track, pretty cool facility. Yeah. So Trent is going to host our championship night on the Wednesday after the Super Nationals. So if everybody kind of puts that date in their head, that will be for the sport mods. On Tuesday, the night before, Trent will be hosting, and Clay County will be hosting the stock car portion of that. So the week after the Boone Super Nationals, we will have a Tuesday night for the stock cars and a Wednesday night for the sport mods to wrap up our East and North Division Championship. So thank you, Trent, for that. And let me just add real quick, Scott, we talked about what things are going to win, and that's great and all that. But what a great way for these promoters to say thank you and to get as many of these guys to show up. It's $150 at minimum for these guys to start these races. And I think that's important. It costs lots of fuel to get up and down the road and tires and stuff. So no matter what, every one of these, if you make the A, you're going to get $150. So thank you to all the promoters for that.
So super cool deal there. Again, announcing the Lighting Motorsports Sport Mod Summer Series here on the Inside Line, presented by our great friends at the Dirt Track Bank, Jay Burdick, Malvern Bank. Check them out. New season here. Racers are going to be looking for money. Maybe take out some weird type of racing loan or something. A guy that understands racing, maybe it's for a truck or trailer or whatever you may need. Jay Burdick and the Dirt Track Bank may be the way to hook you up there. So big thanks goes out to Jay for all of his support through and throughout with everything we've done here. So Sport Mod Series, we talked about the Stock Car Crown Summer Series. We can talk real briefly here. Let's talk about the swap meet here a little bit. Racers Winter Swap Meet coming up here. July. I mean, I wish it was July. How about January? January 20th in Columbus, Nebraska. Something that Rob and I have worked with. Took it over from Bobby Lincoln. Great folks there. His whole team, Angie. Great team of folks that we were able to take it from and just continue the success. I think this is like year 42 now of the Racers Winter Swap Meet. So great thanks to everybody who's made this a success. January 20th, Columbus, Nebraska. There's still a few booths that are available. 10x10 booth is only $40. Rob, you were talking about this picture. I think you were the photographer here, but what did you do?
Well, my little cell phone couldn't take a wide enough view there, but that is only half the building. You know, there's to the left is another half. So, and it goes on for a while. A lot of booths to the right that weren't in that picture. So if you want to come see a lot of parts, if you want to network, if you want to check out race cars. If you go, I mean, I could go on and on, but Scott, it's a great place to all things high performance to pick up, or if you want to sell. There is a lot of people that walk through that door all Saturday long. So we'll have a nice booth for you. It's a great area to get together and hang out. And we got a lot of other stuff going on the day before there. So there'll be a lot of people. So buying or selling, this is the place to be for race car stuff.
Yeah, real quickly here, we'll just run through some of the new stuff that we haven't seen there before. TR's Tool Service, Terry Richards, they'll have one of their new pit lifts there. So thanks for him for jumping on board. DTR Promotions, Chad Dolan, he has mentioned bringing in some short blocks, everything he's doing there. So thanks to Chad. Pat Wheeler will be there with Schaefer's Oil. That's some of the new stuff. We talked about the new folks from Junction Motor Speedway. US 30 Speedway will have a Charger chassis Crown Vic car there. So a new class, new to the area. Obviously, you have the staples. The tool guy from Minnesota, yes, he's coming back. That's always a big spread there. And I know a lot of racers pick up a lot of usable tools and things that they throw on the trailer and that they consume throughout the season. He will be back. I'm trying to think who else here. Matthew Lance, X Factor, Lighting Motorsports, Ron and Jeannie Sardison will be back. So it's a long list. Looking for probably 120 some boosts, if not more again, this year. So something that's going to be pretty cool for us, again, to be part of that deal. Let's see here if we can switch over here. It's not switching there. Again, if we had Ryan here, he could probably do this stuff without any trouble, except I'm fumbling through, but
Scott, don't forget to mention, maybe you did, all the tracks. Every track in the area is invited to come and put a racing series track. And especially if we love it, if you work with us, you get a free booth. That's important for us for you to be able to show off your schedule and to meet all these drivers, maybe potentially pick up a couple new drivers. So everybody's invited to that swap meet. So it's a big day.
So we talked about this earlier. The banquet being on board that weekend. So that's something that we're going to see there. And then let's briefly talk here, if I can find it. Let's see here. One other thing that we've added, and it's really something that I guess we feel pretty strongly about, and continuing to want to help racers. We want to see everybody have a good season in 24, and if we can help in any way, we definitely are trying. One of the things that's coming this year that's new that weekend is the Stock Car Crown or Stock Car Chassis School, the class for racers taught by racers. Who better than a 12-time IMCA Stock Car National Champion, Mike Nichols? He'll be joined by a guy who's not a stranger to stock cars. In fact, he took home one of our trophies at Spencer this year. Kelly Shyrock, a guy who's been in the top of our points. Kyle Vanover also joining in. So good folks putting on that deal. Nick Bauman from Hoosier Tire, Mel Humpington Racing will be involved. Zach Woods from Speedway Racing Engines is involved. Only $175. That price will go up January 14th. Check us out on Facebook. It's an online registration that you can do through our friends at My Race Pass. We do have the link up on our social media pages, so check that deal out. Friday and Saturday, we got guys coming from Minnesota, Wisconsin, Iowa, Kansas. Looks like there's a few Nebraska guys in here. So should be a good time there, Rob. Maybe we can send you and they can remind you how to get around the car.
Yeah, they might have to tell me how to check tire pressure and all that stuff. I probably don't. Nobody want me for a pit crew because I don't remember how to do anything. But no, I've actually never been to one of these, and so I'm excited just to be there and see how these guys communicate with what they do and latest technologies and products. So it's going to be cool. You got an engine guy, you got a tire guy, you got a shock guy, and three of them are big time racers. So it'll be cool to provide those opportunities to learn to everybody in attendance.
Yeah, it'll be something that'll be good. Again, check us out on Dirt Crown on Facebook. The link is on there. If you have any questions, give us a call. We fielded many calls on this deal and tried to explain, what we can about the school. It's going to be great information if anybody's looking for a hotel. We do know that Sleep In is doing a discounted rate for that weekend for us. A little bit different. We don't mention Dirt Crown. We mentioned the Racers Winter Swap Meet. So mention that and get a discounted room rate. It's always kind of the place to hang out with racers, the little bar next door. So everybody enjoys that night, especially with the swap meet, bringing in a school this year. And we didn't mention this earlier, Rob, but the chassis school gets you into our banquet, right?
Yep. So everybody's that's entered in the one automatically can attend. It's going to be in the same place anyways. Just give us a little time to flip the room. But there is a bar there, so you don't have to go very far to stay entertained for a bit. So,
Yeah.
That's going to be a great time.
It'll be fun. So let's talk about something else that we've taken on here. Taylor Computers Quick Time Headlines. Dirt Crown. We've graciously been asked and accepted the offer to take over Dawson County Raceway.
Once again, great people again to meet, and we've always known that out there from I know there was promoters in the past before my time I didn't get to meet, but we think a lot of Chad Dolan, and Chad had a lot to do with the future, the past, the present, the future of Lex and Dawson County. So their fair board's wonderful people to work with, and we just kind of released a brief schedule the other day, and it'll be fun to start really working on that and talking to sponsors, putting that together. But I'm excited. I'm excited to go out to Lexington. It's got a lot of history and a lot of great racers, a lot of great fans. So great support. So can't wait for everybody to be a part of that deal. I hope we can get as many we can to travel out there with us and be a part of great racing. Because they are great racers out there, and they really support their track.
Yeah, some real heavy hitters. They cut their teeth out in western Nebraska, Lexington, Dawson County Raceway, North Platte, that area. So we start out there May 5th. Dirt Crown Throwdown, Stock Car Crown Summer Series, the Sport Mod Summer Series, Modified will race weekly with us, and the Hobby Stock class racing weekly with IMCA out there. So fully sanctioned IMCA out there. It's going to be fun. Look to pack the stands. I was talking with some folks out there. I don't know if it was today or yesterday or what day it was, but the excitement that's out there in the fans is something that you don't get every place. And whether it be Zach Olmstead passing for the lead or somebody passing Zach back for the lead, the fans, love him or hate him, are excited for the racing action that's out there.
You definitely know what the fans are thinking out there. They're loud. They're really loud and passionate about it. And Chad and the Lincoln family, they put a lot of people in the seats every week the last few years. So it's going to be fun. I hope we can continue that tradition, and it'll be a great time being a part of that.
Yeah. May 5th, we'll kick it off there. May 26th, we go back. The Legends of Lex, a special night showcasing the legends of Dawson County Raceway from yesterday. Some of the names that are getting thrown around for this race are unbelievable. There will be Legends of Lexington racing that night. Obviously, some of them will probably drive a little bit more cautious than they once did. But the chance to get back in a car and the excitement of going around the racetrack looks to be a great night. May 26th in Lexington. Can't thank Chad enough for helping us with the Legends of Lex night. It's going to be something that is very cool. It will be something that honestly will be probably a tearjerker for some people out there to see maybe their dad or their grandpa back in a car. Some of those things will be happening that night. We look for a lot of fan interaction that night. We're going to make the legends feel like they're legends and make them feel like they are true heroes that continue to build the racing community and what Lexington was built on. So it's going to be a fun night there, May 26th. Legends of Lex. June 9th, bringing in something a little bit different out there. Malvern Bank 360 sprint cars. That's something that should be interesting out there as well.
I think we know what a 360 can do, and I think if you put it on that track, I just can't wait for people to feel that power and that speed going around that racetrack. So I'm really excited about that. Hopefully we can bring a lot of cars out there and maybe get a couple locals to run with us as well on June 9th.
Yeah, we mentioned IMCA, so the modifieds, hobby stock cars, and Sport Mods May 5th, May 26th. They'll join us June 9th again. June 23rd, we're going to do a kids bike night. The modifieds, stock cars, Sport Mods, hobby stocks, give away some kids bikes on June 23rd, and try to bring in the Race Saver sprint cars. Give those guys that didn't race their 305s with the 360s, and maybe some guys that have 305s that want to come out there and chase another night, the Race Saver 305 sprint cars, June 23rd out there. And then the month of July gets a little busy out there with the fair coming into town and having to kind of regroup that area, using it for the fair and their things. We'll take the month of July off before we come back to a backpack to school night.
Backpack to school. So back to school, and we're going to give kids backpacks. It's going to be a pretty cool deal. We'll be what should I say, introducing some sponsors here shortly on a lot of these nights and getting their names out and stuff. We're just starting to talk to them now. So it's going to be a lot of fun. We'd like to see a lot of families out at all of these nights, including the last night there before we go back to school. High Plains Late Models. I mean, they've been out there before. We got some late model guys in the area. It'll be great to see them. And you can expand on them a little more, but I just want to say thank you already to Tom Downey and his team at Downey Well Drilling and some other individuals, and we'll sure give them thanks as we go too. They're really going to help us in many, many different facets of making this track happen and go. So thank you already to Tom and his team. We couldn't get out of here without saying that, Scott.
Yeah, Tom has been a great supporter of ours almost from day one, and was on board with us last couple of years with the stock car deal. So it's a great relationship already built there, and just looking to continue to build on that. So Dawson County Raceway, some races going to happen out there. It's something that we're excited for. The Legends of Lex race will be something that's super exciting out there. I don't know. It's going to be a lot of fun. A lot of racing this year with Stock Car Crown Summer Series, the new Lighting Motorsports Sport Mod Series, Dawson County Raceway. Rob, I don't know about you, but I think a few more nights this year will be a lot of fun.
I think so too. We had a great time last year. We just got to we got to get our schedule straight and make sure that we're out there supporting all these. And we got a lot of drivers to represent. We got a lot of great promoters to work with, a lot of great fair boards to do the same. So it's going to be fun. We want to be there with the fans. I think we can make it all work. The best and biggest thing about it is we have a great group around us. We don't mention them all the time, but we're really lucky we do have them. And that's why we can continue to bring something new and bigger every year. And we hope to just continue this on as long as we can, because it's cool to be in the racing community and the racing family and do something positive. And I hope that's what people think we are doing.
Yeah. So, hey, real quickly here, just got a message in here. A couple things happening right now. Pretty cool. Jonathan Jensen, J2 Designs, will be giving away a stock car wrap at the banquet this year. So big thanks to Jonathan and his group up there. J2 Designs. Also, Hypercoil Springs Looks like they're going to give away 2 car sets of springs during the chassis school. So Hypercoil jumping on board. And J2 Designs, man, this is super cool. Kevin, we're not ignoring you. We got to check our notes here on the 5.2 Customs giveaway. Somebody is winning a brake line and ignition system installation done by Kevin and his team. Bar none the best in the business. Some of the cleanest and most organized, neatest wiring and brake lines that you'll ever see. And it's amazing to see what you do on cars that go all over the country and are winning every place. So Kevin, we're not ignoring you here. The 5.2 Customs giveaway, we'll have that out here just a few minutes here. Hopefully we can get that taken care of. Eric, you were right. Championship night at Harlan was a great race. Jake Sacco and Jordan Grabowski. We hope to see both those guys back at it. Hopefully we can get Jake in the sport mod as well. No slouch when it comes to the sport mod, and definitely a guy who really picked it up in the stock car division as well. So Jake Sacco is a guy that hopefully we can get more in both of them. Tanner Allen, we got to run with you once last year over at the Davenport Speedway. Loved having you on board. Love seeing you in the stock car. I know it's a little bit bigger than the open wheel sprint car stuff that you were racing. Can't wait to have you on board here in a few weeks and hang out with us at Columbus. So thanks for all your support, and we look forward to racing with you as well.
Scott, going back to Kevin and 5.2 Customs, I mean, all these wonderful sponsors, we need to give thanks. And right now, what are you doing with your car? Are you going to put a new set of brake lines on, or you got a new car and you need to wire it? There's nobody you don't want to go with, and people like Kevin at 5.2 Customs. So please, all our sponsors, get a hold of them, because if they're supporting racing, that's who racers need to support. We know how that whole thing works. We appreciate new drivers signing up with us like this. And I think, Scott, we really need to, in the next couple of weeks before our banquet chassis school, I think we really need to go ahead and let people know what we're giving away, how this is breaking down. A lot of people maybe don't understand our point structure, or don't understand necessarily just simple point fund that we have at the end of the year. And I want everybody to know how important they are to us, and that we work hard and we go out and find sponsors, cash and products. You'll have many more product sponsors come in by them, and we got to make sure we give them all thanks. But we need to do, probably my goal this year for us is just to even do a better job of communicating with all of our drivers and fans and tracks, so that they know where we're at all times and how important they are to us. And so I guess we all work together, we'll all be successful. I guess I'm just going to keep coming back to that. So that's my goal. We'll get some more stuff out here in a couple weeks, maybe recap our season from last year. That'd be pretty cool too, as well.
That means we got to remember what we did.
That's hard to remember.
How about this, Rob? We haven't even talked about this, and hopefully we have them. Some great. I hate to say work, but it's some great help for some great individuals here. Maybe some new apparel that'll be ready for the swap meet. How about that?
I think it's cool. We've been lucky. We've hit it pretty good on the apparel and stuff, and we need to get more of it out. And I think you've got a little secret you were trying to say, right, Scott?
Well, if we can get the old HP to work here, maybe I need to tune up from Dan Taylor, but she's a grinding away here. The old wheel is a spinning. The hamsters and the gerbils are running. We'll see if we can get her to pull up here and talk maybe or show off what we're going to get some of. Something that we've never really had before, per se, available for sale. We had some sweatshirts last year at Off-Road Speedway, and a few left for Beatrice, but not in any numbers for mass sales. So the gerbils are working here. Dan, if you're listening, still on here, you can visit my house anytime and tune this little HP up, and and see if we can get it a little quicker here. And there's Alex again. Look at this guy. What's he say, Rob? You have Dirt Crown TV to help recap your season. That means we have Alex in our back pocket, and he's going to help us. I told you he's got some cool videos, so maybe Alex can help us with some recap of the season. And a guy that's been around the racing, he's done it a lot. He's been on YouTube. A lot of his inboard camera stuff is something that he's bringing over to us and helping us out with Dirt Crown TV. But Alex is a machine when it comes to behind the camera and producing and these videos. So Alex, we're great for you and love to have you on board, and we'll definitely show off your videos to help us recap this deal. I believe this is not the right version. Okay, let's try one more thing here. Rob, you can talk for a minute.
Alex, if anybody wants to know, Alex and us just inked a 10-year deal. So Alex will not be working for anybody else but Dirt Crown TV. So we're pretty lucky to have Alex. I'm going through comments. Jason just said, Jason McIntyre at Colby just said, any shirts with you? Absolutely. We're working on some pretty cool stuff. So wherever we go, we will have apparel with us to be able to share with the fans and at a nice price. So yes, we'll do that. Just got a lot of pretty cool people. Eric and talking about meeting Scott at Harlan last year. Didn't make fun of you too much.
Hey, now.
Yep.
Where were you, Rob?
Volleyball game, Scott.
Volleyball. Yeah, you know,
I get
high schooler.
I got a high schooler now, so when September hits, it's volleyball every weekend. It seems like so.
So yes, Rob is really that old. He does have a high schooler. His cane and wheelchair will be coming shortly. So yes, Rob is that old. If anybody wants to know, he's just not bald to be bald.
Thanks, Scott.
Oh, Rob.
Oh man, no, it's fun. It's so fun to get back into racing here. I took many years off. I don't know why, just to get these kids off the ground, and I had the itch so bad, probably like many of you that are listening do. But man, I had to get away from it because it was just, that's all I wanted to do. It's what I wanted to spend every dollar on. It was everything I did. So, but I'm glad that the last few years we kind of got going again here and helping from this side of it. I seen something from Alex or something. He was asking me if I'm going to race. I think that means at Belleville on the half mile. Alex, you find me a car and I will race at Belleville. I did get a race there back in 2001, so that's how dated I am. And I went to an NCRA modified show there, and I had a terrible heat race, and I won the E feature, and I won the D feature, and I won the C feature, and then I wrecked in the B. So I guess I still have a good memory, Scott. But back in the day, you just ran those races continuously. I wish we do that these days. Wouldn't that be pretty cool? Just hit them one after the other?
Yeah, you know, we've talked about trying to maybe bring back some C's and B's and the D's and the E's and the alphabet soup challenge and, you know, stuff like that. And I don't know that racers really want it and want to race like that. It's hard on everybody's equipment, but it's something that makes them race, and it's super cool for the fans. I like the idea. We just have to sell it and make some believers out of some other people here, and maybe we can get something like that.
Yep, we can dream.
So we have a late breaking update here. Let's see if it comes up this time. Pat Bedore, looking forward to helping out Western Kansas. We love it, Pat. Oh man, the Austin Nordorf going to race at Belleville out of Superior. That's cool. Is the guy going to race at Belleville out of Superior? John Thompson, maybe. I think that's maybe who you're talking about. I know John's still got it modified. I don't know if it's quite IMCA legal. I think John's one of the last NCRA champions and still has an NCRA car, and a guy that we have seen at some races. So we were trying to see if we could squeeze him into Dusty Blake's seat one night, but I don't think that ever happened, and I don't think John would ever fit in Dusty's.
Austin, we've been working hard on John Thompson, so he's not the guy we're talking about, but we're going to try to get him in a car no matter what. So
So here's some hoodies. Dirt Shirts USA, Joey agreed to help us out on these sublimated hoodies. This is a rough draft, not the final draft, but something similar to this. This would be the front side over here. Obviously, the Stock Car Crown Summer Series. Dirt Track Bank, can't thank those guys enough for everything they do. Like we said, put them right in the center of your chest. Mel Hambleton Racing on your heart, and Conklin over on the left side there. So Stock Car Crown Summer Series on the back. Run some sponsors up and down the sleeves here. Again, hoping to have these by the swap meet. So maybe something cool, and we can have like a doorbuster deal or something. How about that?
I think that'd be cool. I'd like to see a few of those sweatshirts running around there, and then see them throughout the spring and come back out in the fall again. So it'll be cool to get that stuff out there.
So do we put Jeff Ware first in line at the door and Kyle Vanover second in line or third in line, and see who gets there first?
That's the video we need to show before the banquet. We need to show that little video. I wish you could pull that up somewhere real quick. That's how much fun we had at the banquet. Jeff hit the ground. Whose fault was it? Was that Bronner or Jeff or Kyle? I don't remember, but
I think Kyle wrecked Austin, and Austin wrecked Jeff, and the rest was kind of history from there. But it was definitely a great time there. Let's hold the suspense here for a minute and see if we can find it. I don't know that. I think at one point it was on the Book of Faces Facebook here.
Hey, while you're looking for that, big stuff kind of coming out, and not that if we need to share our opinion, everybody's got an opinion on this, but a couple big things happening in the stock car world here in the last few weeks. Big race out of Farley with XR. So that's 100,000 to win show. That's pretty different. That'll be cool. I know there's a lot of guys around here that have put their names on the list, a lot of our guys. And then Trent Chin and Mike Van Genderen just released today the inaugural $250,000 challenge at Clay County Fair Speedway. So that's going to be divided up into stock cars and sport mods. So Scott, any quick take on Trent and Mike's race up at Spencer in May, 3 days in the middle of May?
I think it's pretty cool. We know that track races really well. So one of the places that midweek race, really good money up for grabs. Make sure you get registered ASAP for that deal. Looks like the purse is a little bit better if you got registered right away. So that's a thing that's coming, and we've always had great support from Trent and Mike. So get out there, support those guys. Man, I see Jeff Ware. Looks like an ace bandage on his ankle with a trophy, but I don't see Jeff Ware's video when he plays.
If anybody has that real quick, they could share. That was pretty cool. And if we can't get it, we can work on it for the next show in a couple of weeks.
That's one thing that hopefully Alex is ready. I don't know if he signed up for this yet, but he's been volunteered by the great folks at Dirt Crown and Stock Car Crown Summer Series to run a little bit of video during the banquet this year, and so I don't know if Alex knew he signed up for that, but I seen his name on the list, so maybe you put it on there or something, Rob.
Yep, got to have good people around you, so got them involved.
Oh, here's a great idea from Eric. We just keep talking here, Rob. I think my wife's waiting to go to dinner, but it's okay. Take one of the hoodies and have it autographed by the winners, and then auction it off for a charity. I think that's something pretty cool. We've worked some with the Team Jack Foundation, so maybe that's something we can do for it. Maybe there's a different foundation. Maybe it's something we do with the Salute to Veterans, Hunting with Heroes. Maybe that's something we do with those guys. Definitely some great thought there, Eric. We appreciate that idea. That would be pretty cool if we could help out a few guys like that. So great ideas here. I don't know about you. It's 8:25. We've talked for an hour and 25 minutes. I think I pressed live, so not all for nothing this time. And if anybody sees Ryan, pull him out of behind a computer or behind a microphone. He's probably at a basketball game or hard working at RK Inc. or being a dad of twins. It's hard to say what Ryan's doing, and we give Ryan a hard time, but without Ryan, we couldn't do what we do. So, Ryan, thank you. Alex, thank you. All of our racers, thank you. All of our racetracks, thank you. All of our sponsors, Dirt Track Bank, thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Yep. Thanks for everything you guys do for us. We'll be on probably, I don't know if we'll get to every Wednesday yet, but probably in 2 weeks, we'll start a pattern of going every other week. We got to get some stuff out before the banquet again. So kind of be watching for us again, and we'll share a lot of different things.
Yeah, we'll pop in and out. Wednesdays, Rob, if we don't do it next week, we're up against the banquet weekend, and hopefully you're packing your bags so you're there on Thursday. So maybe we should do it next week.
Maybe we should. Yep. We got a lot to talk about. That's fine with me.
Yeah, we always have a lot to talk about, and can't thank everybody for watching enough. Share with your friends. Let everybody know what's happening here and what we have to come. And we'll have some guests on here in the near future and do some more recaps and some exciting breaking news with whatever we can find. Again, a big thanks to Jay Burdick, the Dirt Track Bank folks. Quick time questions with Taylor Computers. Thank you, Dan. Anytime you want to stop by and tune up my HP here, I could use a little bit more HP. I think that's what everybody says. Kurt, we will see you at the banquet and maybe the swap meet. Maybe Kurt, I'll bring some radios for you to tune in for us as well. Kurt Bonner, one of the guys behind some of the great tow crews in Nebraska, and he'll be looking for some work this year. If anybody's looking for anybody to tow some cars, Kurt and his crew may be available because he's going to be bored, I'm sure.
Kurt's a good dude. No, thank you to everybody, and thanks Dirt Track Bank for the support for our show. Appreciate it.
So, all right, guys. Thanks for joining in here tonight. Watch us on social media here as we'll put out again when we're going to be jumping on. So thanks again to everybody, and have a good night, safe week, and Happy New Year from all of us.
Back from the pole, as I put it in the wall, second lap of my heat, got a little loose coming out of 3, got it all beat up and straightened out. The boys tell me that we're ready to run now. That's a damn good thing, 'cause that green flag's waiting and I'm on the gas. I put my sweat and blood to these nuts and bolts. Yeah, I turn around. Way I can afford to fill it up again, tear it up again. It's the only way I'm ever gonna learn. One more left turn.